What's up, everybody? It is Barbara Reese from the Bronx, now in Manhattan. What's going on? I just had a very healthy snack, as you guys can clearly see. And I put my hair back up, as you can clearly see. So how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are enjoying the videos today. Yes. So let's continue the true story about me in Hunts Point, pregnant. And now this is where I get choked out. So that was the first event. I had two different separate events that happened, but I didn't want to jump into the choke one until I told you the first one, because that one makes sense, right? Why am I going to tell you that? I'm going to tell you about the other one. So I'm going in chronological order. So yes, the first time I was attacked was on Casanova, as I just clearly explained to you prior to this very video. And then after that, I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks, give or take, passed by. And I'm out on my basic prowl. It was a 24-hour thing for me, guys. This was a 24-hour way of life. There was no breaks. The only breaks I had was when, not out. Sometimes I would not out so bad, I would not out right on Tiffany, right across the street from the monastery. So as my sister was a nun, I was out and about. And I'm going to get into the reason why our lives went totally separate. I think I've explained that essentially before, but I want to make it very clear, crystal clear. So like I said, about 2 or 3 weeks passed by and I'm out and about. This time was about the evening time. And there was this young guy, it doesn't matter what ethnicity he was, but he was probably mixed, but that's neither here nor there. I'm colorblind, it does not matter. He was on foot, and he knew I was pregnant, and I didn't get any bad vibes from him. He was very charming. He was younger than me, not underage, God forbid, no, but he was younger than me. He was like 23. I was 27, and he came up to me and he's like, oh, you want to hang out? And I'm like, cool. And I would be like, my name is Vanessa, what can I do for you? He told me what he wanted to do, and I said, I'm pregnant. And he said, some guys like that. Some guys, it's their thing. And he said, well, that's exactly what I like. That's exactly what I'm looking for. This is a degrading thing to talk about. It is, but it's the truth. So I'm telling you guys the truth. This is the life that I lived. Okay, but remember, this isn't always who I was. I wasn't always that person, and I never ever thought that I would get pregnant out there. For me, it happened once. For many other young ladies, it happened so many times, and my heart goes out to them, because just experiencing that one time was so hard and so lonely in its own right. Even though you have a street family, I explained this before, being pregnant and being a prostitute at the same time is so hard to go through, guys. It is scary. It's scary. So me and him going to the building. Well, first we're trying to figure out where we're going to go, because we're on foot. There were plenty of places that now these days, the gates are locked, they welded up the holes, and there's basically nowhere to go. So girls that are out there now, I have to say, they definitely trying to figure out where they're going, because a lot of times the guys are on foot. Absolutely. A lot of times, a lot of my regulars were on foot. A lot of them. So we figured out we're going to go into the MS-13 building. So that is across the street from the post office. And there's a roof. And the alarm is rigged. So when you go up to the roof, the alarm isn't going to go off. So essentially we went up to the roof. There's a little, the stairwell, and there's a little, not a hallway, but right before the door, there's like a small section, and that's where we would go. So it was on the roof, but inside, like right before. So at first we're starting to do our thing there. I don't need to get into detail because I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. But doing our thing, of course protected. And he's like, you know what, let's go out the door to the roof. And I'm like, he doesn't seem to be a threat at that point. I'm like, okay. So, you know, move along, pull up our essentials and apparel rather, and along outside. So proceed and continue with the date. And all of a sudden, he comes up behind me and grabs me by my throat. And at the same time, he is continuing to do what he was doing. Yes, he paid me, but it didn't matter at that point. He's choking me, and I'm pregnant, and he's choking me really hard, and I couldn't breathe, and he had me by one hand like this, and the other hand on my hip, and you can perceive the rest. You can come to your conclusions of what is happening to me. You don't need to be so descriptive, but his hands were digging into my throat so bad that I couldn't breathe, and he's raping me at that point, because now it's becoming violent. So it was I no longer was consenting to this. So it was consensual and then non-consensual, and that is a tough one right there, because like I said, prostitutes don't have a voice. You don't. You go into a police department and say you've been raped if you're a prostitute, sorry, they're gonna look at you like you got some case, literally. And that's the truth. That is the truth, guys. So by the grace of God, he stopped. I stepped on his foot really hard, and he let go. And I caught my breath. And at the same time, he grabs my hair. I didn't have a lot of hair like I do now, but he grabbed whatever hair I had. He's like, where you think you're going, bitch? Where you think you're going? And I said, you're choking me. I said, what do you mean, where am I going? I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I tried the best. He said, you ain't going fucking nowhere. So he grabbed me by my hand and pushed me down. Okay, and this time I'm on my back. So he has me like this, and I'm on my back, and my belly is pretty much, now it's getting bigger. He's like, I don't give a fuck, you pregnant bitch. He's like, you don't give a fuck about yourself. He's like, I'm gonna fucking take advantage of you anywhere I want, and shit you gonna fucking do about it, bitch. That's what he said to me. Okay? Excuse my language, I'm portraying to you guys what he did. Okay? That's what he did to me. He's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, I'm taking what's mine. Ain't shit you gonna do about it. He kept saying that over and over. And he kept doing, he's like, oh, you know you like it. You know you want it. He's like, your life ain't worth shit, and neither is that baby in your stomach, because if it was, you wouldn't be out here the way you are, and let that be a fucking lesson to you. That's what he said to me. Then he got up, spit at me, and went out the door. That's what he did. And he left a mark. That is why I cannot put masks. That's why I stay in the house pretty much. Because I'm not gonna put my family at risk. I go out every Tuesday to get my medication, but I have my scarf on, but I can't. I feel, and then before that, years before, with my first two children, before I was even any kind of on drugs or anything, only smoked weed, the father of my first two children suffocated me, literally suffocated me, and he used to grab me. You see, like the bin of toys, like this, guys? He would take my head, and pregnant too, with my daughter Diana, take my head and dig my head into the bin of toys until I had imprints of the sharp toys into my face. Oh yes, yes. None of that ever turned me to drugs. None of that. Not my abuse when I was a child, not my abuse with him, not my mother living with my stepfather. Nothing that he did to me, nothing. the only thing that essentially pushed me to drugs was losing my children. And that I could say with a clear conscience. But I don't want to get off subject. I'm just bringing that up because I went through a lot of stuff before I started using. Like a lot of stuff. And none of that pushed me to the edge. None of it. I'm a strong fucking person, excuse my language. I can handle, you know, I have a really good heart, and that I give credit to the good Lord. It's nothing I take credit for. But at the same time, I wouldn't, how could I put it? Like, I'm not the person to cause strife. I'm not a person to cause trouble. And even people that have hurt me, like these people that choked me out and stuff, I defended myself as best as I could. But I never went on a, like, how could I put it? I never went out like saying, oh, if I see them again, I'm going to get them. I leave it in God's hands. Because if I'm going to live like that, that would drive me crazy. If I'm going to live to the day, to the next and the next, to all my days onward, focus on if I run into them again, or oh, I can't, because then I can't have peace, because there'll be a long list of people. A long list of people that betrayed me. A long list. And along with my other counterparts that were out there, the other girls. They have longer lists than me. Okay? But the baby is waking up now, so I just wanted to share the rest of that with you. Excuse me, guys. And I just want to thank everyone for listening to me. God bless you guys. It means the world to me. Your love and support. I never really had a lot of support before, and it feels nice to have people listen to you. You know, I'm better at communicating this way. I'm not really good at communicating with the keyboard, so please forgive me. God bless you guys. Ciao.